Alright, the tools you're going to need to take apart the Asus G71GX laptop is Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, some isopropyl alcohol, the higher percentage is better, some Q-tips, and thermal grease. For starters, what you want to do is flip the computer over and remove the battery. Next thing what you're going to want to do is remove all the covers housing the different components that the company lets you get at, such as the hard drives and the processor and the RAM. There's a lot of screws. There's 2 screws right here that come undone. Then for the main back panel there's a total of, looks like 8 screws. This is probably going to be a 2-parter or more. This is a big computer, so I'm having a little bit of trouble fitting it into the field of view of the camera. Alright, so now we can take off the back panel, reveal the inside of the laptop. What you want to do next is you want to take out the hard drives. I'm going to start with this one right here. I put 2 hard drives in mine. I added one after I got it. If you're getting your computer stock, there won't be a hard drive here. There'll only be a cover. So we take this one out, set it to the side, and this one here, since it wasn't there stock, there weren't any screws that I could put it in with, so I just kind of stuck it in there and braced it with some pieces of paper. Yeah, really ghetto, but it works. So now that one's out, next thing what we can start to do is we can take out the RAM modules, all 6 gigabytes of them. There's 1. There's 2. And 3. Next, we can take out the fan. There are 2 screws located there and there. And the fan should come right out. Basically, this is the only way you can take out the MXM 2.1B graphics card. So if you were planning on upgrading, you would have to completely disassemble the computer. And there's a little connector for the fan right there that I undid to get it out. Next, we're going to take off this heatsink, which is for the main processor. As you can see, there's 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. And after undoing those screws, the heatsink should just pop right out. So I'll do that now. This is why you're going to want thermal grease, so that way you can re-paste the CPU and the GPU once you take off their heat sinks. You're going to want to do the same for the north bridge as well. Once again, the north bridge is entirely... You may notice that I had to cut the camera. That's because I'm running off a very crappy digital camera, so it eats up batteries like crazy. So I might have to cut the camera every now and then. Anyhow, we are finishing up removing the 4 screws on the CPU. Once you do this, you will be voiding your warranty, so do not proceed farther if you do not wish to avoid your warranty. So after the 4 screws are removed, we can lift up gently, and it should come right out. There's a little bit of sticky tape on the heatsink. You can just pull that off. There we go, and we got the heatsink fully removed. You'll see there's thermal grease on the bottom of it. We'll clean that off later when we're putting it back together. Set that aside. Now, this will be one of the times where you're going to use a Phillips head screwdriver, because there is a small little Phillips head screw right there, which is holding the CPU in place. Simply turn it to the right until it clicks, and now you can take out your CPU. This is a E8235 CPU. It's a model that I believe Intel only released in MacBooks, I believe. It's clocked at 2.8 gigahertz, and with the overclocking tool for the Asus releases, I can get it up to 3.4 or 3.24, that is. I think it's a rare CPU. I haven't found it anywhere else. Alright, now that we got the CPU out and the RAM out, we can take off the video RAM heatsink off the graphics card. We do that by undoing these two screws that you see here and here, like that. And the video RAM heatsink should pop off. It might be a little bit sticky. Yep, there it goes. And you can see the thermal pads and whatnot covering the RAM chips. Once the video RAM heatsink is removed, we can remove the last two screws holding the MXM video card in. It's a GTX 260M, 1GB version. Now, after you get these screws removed, you could lift up and pull out the GPU, but it won't come out all the way, mainly because we got this plastic column sitting here, and that'll prevent it from coming out. It is a module, so I don't know why they put this plastic column in the way, because it prevents you from removing it, and the only way you can completely remove it and upgrade is to take apart the entire computer and get at the motherboard. I mean, in the G71GX, you could just open up the back panel and take out the video card, but not so much in the 17-inch version. I think it's kind of stupid. Anyhow, as we continue on, if you look over here, this is the wireless card. We're just going to unplug the two antenna wires and pull them back as far as they can go, so that we only take off the monitor. It'll be easier to get out. Next, there are a total of, there's a bunch of screws, too many to count, to take the bottom panel off. But before that, I think we should take out the CD drive. So in order to take out the CD drive, there's a screw here and a screw here, and we undo those two screws, and it should come right out. There's one, and there's two. And there's a little latch right here that if you push up on the latch and pull out at the same time, should come out. Is the screw completely out? Let's try it again. There we go. There we go. Now it comes right out. So there's the DVD-ROM drive. I didn't get the Blu-ray edition. Alright. Next thing we want to do, let's see, is there are a bunch of screws on the bottom of the computer, basically all the way around the perimeter. Basically anywhere you see a hole with a screw in it, take it out, because there's a crap load of them, and that's what's keeping this entire thing together. So I'm basically going to do that. I'll start here, I guess. I'm just going to loosen them and leave them in their holes, and when I turn over the computer, they'll fall out. So there are screws everywhere. It helps too if you get a screwdriver with a magnetic tip, because sometimes it'll pull the screws out